Just a reminder to vote in this week's Locals poll, where you decide what deck I take to Locals every single week. Without any further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and it has been a hot minute since we've been able to do a deck profile, but since the holidays are over, you know, Thanksgiving and all that, we were finally able to go back to Locals, and we did okay with Chronomaly. We did about as good as I figured we would, so no complaints there, but we'll get to a look at what the deck looks like on paper, then we'll get to the card by card. Okay, so starting off with our high-level monsters, so I am running 2 of the Chronomaly Soul Monolith, 2 Moai, and then 3 Akambaro figure. So these are our high-level monsters. So we have multiples of these because we can use it with the trap card, special summon both out of the deck, and Xyz summon during either our turn or our opponent's turn. This offers protection and can revive itself from the grave. This is an extender. So yeah, just kind of synergy with the traps, and then also some of the lower monsters can change levels, so that's good for trying to facilitate your Xyz summons. Next, for our level 4s, I'm running 3 copies of Nebradisk. And then I'll also go ahead and put in 2 copies of Aztec Mask Golem. So these two can often work together. So Nebradisk on normal summon can get any Chronomaly card from your deck to your hand, including a spell or trap. And if you choose a spell and then activate it, you can special summon Mask Golem from your hand. And that is not an activated effect, that is an inherent summon. So again, just trying to make your Xyz plays a little more easy to do, because the main goal is you want to get at least 2 Xyz monsters on the field. That's kind of what you want to do. Next, triple Magella Globe and double Golden Jet. So Magella Globe, this can special summon any Chronomaly out of the deck that you want by attributing itself. One of the main targets you might go for is Golden Jet, and it can increase the levels of all Chronomalys on your field by 1, so that helps go into your rank 5s. You also have Tuspa Rocket, rounding out the level 4s. So this one is good for graveyard setup, and then it actually does give a bonus effect when it's used for the rank 4 one that we have. And technically you can also do it for the rank 5 as well. So yeah, Tuspa Rocket's pretty good. You usually like to pull this out of the deck with the Magella Globe or something like the trap card. Next, going into the level 3 monsters, this is where one of the biggest edits to the deck that we actually did the day of the tournament came in. And that's because we are actually playing 1 Chronomaly Crystal Bones in addition to the double Crystal Skull. So basically, Crystal Bones is a free double special summon if you're basically, if your field is empty. It's a double special summon. So you can special summon it, and then it says when you do, you can special summon a Chronomaly from hand or grave. So this can just help with your Xyz plays, getting more bodies on the field. Crystal Skull is a searcher. Enough said. And then finally, rounding out the monsters, we have the double Gordian Knot. So basically, when he's normal summoned, you special summon a different Chronomaly from your hand, and then when you do, his level becomes the level of the other monster you summoned. So this is just basically, this plus any other monster is an instant Xyz monster. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory there. Next, moving on to the spell cards. First, we're going to cover some of the more generic spells. So we have our Terraforming, Reasoning, Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, and Rank Up Magic Argent Chaos Force. So, Terraforming grabs the field spell and can also serve as Ash Bait. Reasoning, as you've seen, the levels range from 3 to 6, so a free special summon is always nice, and as I mentioned previously, this can always serve as Ash Bait. Reborn helps get Xyz material, Foolish Burial for graveyard setup, and Chaos Force to go into the Chaos Atlantis, which is something you don't do that often, but the option is there if you want to. Next, getting to the Chronomaly specific cards. I am running one Chronomaly technology. So, and the reason I'm only running one is because you do have to banish a Chronomaly from your graveyard, so that does kind of limit your resources. But you get to excavate 2 and then add 1, dump the other. So it's not that bad. But then again, it's not always going to like save you either. So that's why I kind of only run one. Speaking of one-ups, I also run one Chronomaly Pyramid Eye Tablet. This is just an attack booster. Gives your Chronomalies an extra 800 attack. So, yeah, this is kind of a... Both of these are kind of win more cards, I guess you could say. Next, for the main spells you're going to be looking for, is the Chronomaly Temple Trillathon. So this one, by paying 500 life points, you get an extra normal summon of a Chronomaly. And if your Chronomaly Xyz monster would activate its effect by detaching a material, you can actually send this from your field to the graveyard instead. So it gives you an extra activation as well. So yeah, obviously this is a 3 of, because you want to see this as often as possible. And if you don't open it, this is going to be your main target for the Nebrodisk search. Probably the second best search off of the Nebrodisk in terms of spells would be the field spell being Chronomaly City Babylon. So with this, you can banish a Chronomaly monster from your graveyard to target a different Chronomaly with the same level from in your graveyard and special summon it. So say I banish Tuskspar Rocket to special summon Golden Jet from the graveyard. So again, this is just for Xyz plays. And it's actually not a hard once per turn, it's a soft once per turn. So if you do have multiple copies of the field spell in your hand, you can actually stack them. So that is something that you can potentially use / abuse. And rounding out the 40 card main deck are the trap cards, 2 Chronomaly Esperanza Glyph, and 1 Stonehenge Method. So with this one, this is a... this is basically... Oh, what is that one card? Oh, what is that one card? It's Halfway to Forever. It's kind of like that, where you target an Xyz monster that you control, or is in your grave. Special 2 Chronomaly monsters whose level is 1 higher than the rank. Special summon them, and then immediately Xyz. The only drawback is that this is only during the main phase, but it's still an instant Xyz. Then Stonehenge Methods. This is kind of like Hero Signal. So when a face of Chronomaly is destroyed and sent to the grave, special summon a level 4 lower Chronomaly from your deck in defense position. Only drawback is that it can't change its battle position, but usually you're going to use it for an Xyz summon anyway. I like to get Tuskspar Rocket off of this. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck. So starting with the extra deck, we're running 1 Crystal Chrononaut. So this one, it's kind of similar to number C105, or not C105, just regular number 105, Battle and Boxer Comet Cestus. So when it's targeted for an attack, attach a material, it can't be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes all the battle damage instead. Next is 3 copies of number 36, Chronomaly Chateau Hyuk. So this one is a quick effect. Target an opponent's monster and change its attack to 0. And then it does have a non-quick effect where you can tribute a Chronomaly monster on your field to target a monster whose attack is different from its original attack and destroy it. But you're usually not going to be using the tribute effect. You're mainly going to be using the 0 effect. Next is 3 copies of Chronomaly Vimana. So this one, it can boost its own attack as well as detach 2 for a monster negate. So, and it does reload itself with materials. so that's nice. Sorry, I have a little puppy, and he's playing with the tripod. Next, 2 copies of number 33, Chronomaly Machumek. So this is the one that you use the most in tandem with number 36 here, because you change an opponent's monster down to 0, and then with this guy's effect, you target that monster whose attack is now 0, and you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between its original and current attack, and then it gains attack equal to that difference. And then it can still attack as well. So this plus number 36 is what facilitates the OTKs. And we did pull off 3 OTKs with that combo, so that was very nice. Next, 2 copies of number 6, Chronomaly Atlantis, and then 1 copy of the Chaos version. So this one is just kind of if you need it, really, because normally just 36 and 33 are going to be enough to win you the game. But if you need to, or if you want to, then you can summon this guy, usually using Esperanza Glyph is normally how I like to do it. So you can equip one of your numbers from the graveyard, it gains that much attack, or excuse me, half of that attack, excuse me. And then you can detach a material and then send the equip to the grave to cut your opponent's life points in half. Only drawback is that you cannot conduct your battle phase after that. And then we have the Chaos version. Again, you don't use this very often, but the effect is kind of nice though. So basically, if you activate any of this guy's effects, your opponent doesn't take any more damage, but that's because he can detach 3 materials and send the number monster equipped by his effect to the grave to make your opponent's life points 100. Stop attacking the tripod. But yeah, so it's pretty good. Mainly if you just kind of want to flex, but you don't use it all that often. Your bread and butter is 36 and 33, along with the Vimana. So that's going to be it for the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. Again, we did decent. We did about as good as I figured we would with the deck. The edits did fairly well, because I did make a couple last-minute changes. They worked very well. And, yeah. Make sure to vote in the locals poll, like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.